Hello everyone, and welcome to a brief video about the upcoming Farming Sim 22. So it comes out in less than a week, next Monday. So I thought we'd do a quick video. I just kind of wanted to go over some of the new stuff that we are going to see in Farming Sim 22. All of this information is taken directly from the videos on the official Farming Sim Giant Software channel. So I'm just going to go over the things that I found interesting, the things I'm excited for. So this won't cover all the new things, but it should get most of it because it's looking like it's going to be a lot of fun. So this is sort of going to be in chronological order from the videos that they released. So going way back to 3 months ago, they released a video, and this is a pretty big one. There are going to be seasons now in Farming Sim 22. So they've taken, it seems they've taken the seasons mod that was super popular. They've kind of filtered it down a little bit and sort of compromised on some things. So it's still fairly sim arcadey-like. So it's seasons now. There's going to be 1 month per in-game day. So it'll take 12 days to go through an entire year. So that means we can still adjust the time, how fast and how slow the day goes, and every 3 days will be a new season. They have a nice little calendar that they have. It's also going to be interesting because now the crops have to be planted and harvested by season as well. So there's going to be a lot more planning involved. We can't just constantly spam soybeans, for example. We'll have to be a little more mindful of when to plant and when to sell. So now we can actually hold on to crops for a reason, because in the off months, their price will go up when they're not, being freshly harvested. So a lot of things that are going to change due to that season's implementation. Looking forward to that. Another thing is the new map. There's a new map called Elmcreek, and it's going to take place sort of in the Midwest, they said, which means it'll be fairly flat. So as most people, well, not most, but some of you may know if you've been following me for a while, I am from Nebraska. If you don't know where that is, look at a map of the United States, point right in the center of it, right in the middle of the United States. That is Nebraska. So I'm thereabouts in that state. And incidentally, there's a town called Elmcreek, not too far away, not too close either, but I'm assuming every state has an Elmcreek of some sort. So I'm excited to see like a flat Midwestern map again. And then they kind of did this cool thing where they made sure we knew that there's really no main town on the map. And I like that as well because that's very Midwestern. I personally grew up in a town of 97 people, so I wouldn't count that as a main town. It was really just sort of a couple businesses, and that was about it. So I think it'll be very like the Midwest. Looking forward to it. All right, another big change is the introduction of production chains. So no longer is it just grow crops or get something from animals and sell it. You can, of course, do that, or you can take it to factories of sorts. They call them factories, I think, and turn it into a product, and then use those products to make other recipes. And eventually, I assume, I don't think they got into this too much in the video. I assume the point is then to sell for even more money. So for example, they took a grain, turned it into flour, took the flour over to the bakery, and then there's this nice little GUI that showed you the recipe and had little nice icons, and they could turn the flour. I think it took 2 flour to make bread, and then he clicked on cake, and the recipe was absolutely insane. I think there's, what was it? Flour, milk, eggs. There's like 7 or 8 different ingredients to make cake. So I'm assuming once you make cake, then that sells for a ton of money. I'm not really sure. I'm just guessing on that one. And then in that video, they sort of snuck in a cool little detail that greenhouses are coming back. So in Farming Sim 19, we kind of lost all of our placeables. So they're bringing back greenhouses, and I think those are going to be used to grow specific crops for recipes. So I know one of the recipes, or one of the ingredients of cake was strawberries. So I'm assuming, again, a lot of assumptions here, I'm assuming that greenhouses will be used to grow different fruits and things. So one of them will be strawberries, and then you can use those for your recipes. So yeah, just a lot more to do now with crops instead of just grow, harvest, sell, grow, harvest, sell. That'll be really nice. Speaking of crops, there are 3 new ones. There are sorghum, grapes, and olives. Sorghum probably won't be a huge change. It's just a different grain, so it'll probably have some different planting seasons than the others, but should be treated, I think, pretty similarly to wheat, barley. How am I missing the other one? The other one I can't think of. All those kind of act the same. And then grapes and olives are going to be very different because you actually build the vines and you're able to place them down with the new build mode. And then at the end of the season, you just cut down the vines and leave the vine stands up. And then the next season, you don't have to rebuild them, so you can use them year to year. And then those will be used for raisins and grape juice. Of course, the grapes will be used for those, and olives will be used naturally, of course, for olive oil. So a lot of new things, and it's going to be very interesting to play around with grapes and olives because those are vastly different than we've seen before. Speaking of building vines, there's a whole new build mode. So they've put the build mode and landscaping mode together, and it looks nicer and it looks easier to use. And they said it's easier to use. So hopefully landscaping will no longer be a risk and will actually be maybe something fun to do. We'll see. The coolest thing I think was you can build fences, but they have it in such a way where you click the fence on the ground and then you can pull it or drag it, and it'll drag the fence kind of on the grass, so you don't have to place fence. Just place the fence, drag it however long you want it, and then rotate it and do it again. So it looks really quick, really snappy, and I think that's the same thing with the vines for grapes and olives. And then they have the placeable income generators again. So they mentioned greenhouses in the crops video. They mention beehives in the animals video I'm about to talk about. So yeah, we've kind of missed those in Farming Sim 19. Not sure why they got rid of them. And then in the video, they didn't talk about the production buildings, but they did click on the tab at the end. And I saw that there was a place under the production building tab for building factories, selling points, greenhouses. And then there's one tab I couldn't make out, so I'm not sure what else. And then generators. So just a ton of things to build, and I think a lot to help us with income. The next one, or animals, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of new things with animals. In the video, they had a dog that the person was playing with, so maybe we can get a dog now. Maybe that means cats as well. I don't know. It would make sense to have farm cats. They showed beehives in the video as well, so I'm wondering if that will also then, if that'll just make money automatically like it used to, or will we be able to harvest those for honey to put into recipes. I didn't notice in the cake recipe if there was honey, so again, I'm just kind of guessing here. There was also a deer in the video, so maybe there will be more wildlife. We're used to birds being sort of just around and they fly away. I'm wondering if they have more wildlife now, just randomly around, so we'll see. That was just in the video. And then the last thing is that they are bringing back collectibles. So again, Farming Sim 19, they got rid of those. If you remember, it's 17. I think 17, Farming Sim 17 was when they had the golden nuggets. I might be off an iteration. But once you collected them all, there was a secret well and you got $1 million. And it was just a nice way to kind of boost your starting sum of money. They got rid of that in 19. They're bringing it back. And each collectible is going to be dependent on the map. So they mentioned in the video in the French map that they're going to be old video game cartridges. And then when you collect them, they will, teleport to your home or home garage or something. It was kind of unclear, so that you can view them. They didn't say if there was going to be a monetary reward like there were in previous farming sims, or if it's just purely aesthetic. But either way, it'll be a chance, or kind of a reason, to explore these maps a little more than we had in Farming Sim 19. So that is a lot of new stuff. I mean, it's been 3 years since the last one. They usually are in 2-year cycles. So hopefully this extra year is the reason that we are getting all kinds. I mean, seasons and production chains alone, I think, are just massive additions. So I haven't seen anything about forestry. Is about the only thing I haven't seen. They may release some more videos in the next week before Farming Sim 22 comes out. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And in a week, we'll kind of see what happens and how it goes. So thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment below if you want to, and have yourselves a very nice day.